Okay. What I'm going to do is just put a little handful of dirt in the bottom because the pawpaw roots are pretty good size. And we'll stick that in that pot and fill it full of dirt and water it and keep the heat on it and hope like it heck it grows. We might not all make it, but when we repot this, the succulent is too long, so I cut the succulent off by like that right there so we can repot it in them 4x4 by 14 inch pots. I'm trimming off a side branch on this little guy right here. You just want one main leader to grow. I don't know if you call it the leader or not, but it's the guy that grows straight in the air anyway. We're doing this large container because the root system is really fantastic on this one. So that way we're putting it in a bigger pot. These are toll gate. When I look for scion wood, what I look for is something that pretty decent like this right here. It's pretty good size. You see why I say your root stock can be real big, but it's still got to be, decent size. You got to have new wood. So this is actually last year's growth right here. See how that different color right there? And this right here. So this is 1 year's growth, and then that's just last year's growth right there. And that's not big enough for a piece of scion wood. I'll find a couple. Okay, right there's a good one right there. The diameter is a little bigger than some of them, and it's got a nice tip leaf bud on it. And I'll take this one too. See if I didn't take that one. Well, that ought to give us 20 of them. 20 of the toll gate anyway. These two fruit buds got to come off. One got to come off. And one main leaf right there. I've done a lot of grafting with just one leaf bud. Fact is, I don't want no more than 2 leaf buds on my graft on my pawpaws. If I get a good piece of scion wood with 1 leaf bud, I'll probably cut it off and graft it right there. Well, Tollgate was a seedling that actually Corwin had a nursery and he had 2 rows of rootstock in there, to be grafted. And once in a while, he would graft a seedling and it didn't take, and so the next year it was a foot higher, and he'd graft it again and it didn't take, so then it was 5 foot high. So he'd just leave it, and that's where we come with the Sibley, the Tollgate, the Canvas, the Bell. Them were all seedlings, and they had real nice big pawpaws on them. It was good tasting, so we named them and we kept them. I'm going to pick all these little guys off. Otherwise it puts all the energy into them dang little flower buds. putting them all these even at the bottom so that I can put beeswax on that cut.
So tell me about Sibley here.
Okay, Sibley was a seedling in Corwin's orchard that we grafted about 3-4 times and it got away from us, and so we just let it grow. And it turned out to be an exceptionally good tasting pawpaw, and they had fruit on them that weighed a pound.
How did it get your name?
Well, Letha, Corwin's wife, we was naming them one day, and she said, well, let's name one Canvas Township, let's name one toll gate after the toll gate nursery, and you might as well name one after you. Letha did it, so I just let her do it. I thought it was kind of neat when she did it anyway. And she had her theory, you know. We'll just name them after us. This is a younger tree, and it's got a lot better scionwood on it. When they're a young tree, they grow a lot more prolific.
Is this a grafted Sibley then, or is this the original Sibley?
This is a grafted. The original Sibley still on the Corwin's orchard. Okay, this tree I'm cutting scionwood on is a Davis. Well, the Davis was one of Corwin's original trees. I don't know where he got it at, but it was a nice big fruit, and it good taste. And he went to Davis, California, and it's the only tree that had registered in Pawpaw book or whatever. He registered that tree, Davis. You want to take the buds off of these while I cut some more, and then you can bundle them up. This is a sunflower. Somebody in Kansas sent Corwin some scionwood because they had some pawpaws along the creek in Kansas. And so Corwin named it sunflower after her because Kansas is a sunflower state. The Lady D was named after my little Cocker Spaniel.
So where does the name Belle come from?
You know, all I know is that Letha made it up. I have no idea where she got it or whatever, so. This is my grafting template. This is actually how you cut the scion and the rootstock on that small stuff, and then when you put it together, it matches it perfect like that, see?
So you cut that for yourself for reference?
No, I didn't need the reference, but I had, Jan had 4 or 5 guys with him last year, and a couple years ago I had some people that wanted to come watch me graft, and I thought, all right, if I have something like this, it's easier to show them what I'm doing. If one piece of the scion is a little different than the rootstock, you wrap that rubber band around there, and it'll pull, just like you put a band-aid on a cut on your finger. It'll actually pull it together, and it'll heal in. That's why I like the rubber bands, is because you can get a little tension on them, and when you do that, actually it pulls that bark together. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm cutting the scion at a slant and opening up as much cambium layer as I can. And then I'm doing the same thing on the rootstock to get them to match up.
We might need to cut some of these buds off here. I'll grab another skinny one. Save the real skinny ones for those ones. This one here is good to grab, but it doesn't go.
Then what I do is I put the rubber band on it to hold the scion to the rootstock. And you put a little tension on it, and it actually pulls the scion and the rootstock together so that the fluid from the rootstock can go up into the new scion you put on and heal up and callus and start leafing out. The reason you can't use that machine on these, even though they're big like this, is you can't get the scion wood this big. So you only get scion wood that's about way up to here. When you cut the rootstock and you cut the scion, they match up perfect. You know, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to try to do anyway.
Right. Well, I think they're falling one over one. I think that's the semi-workers. Each got to go different workplaces.
Okay, I take the rubber band and I usually put a little piece right there in the hole of my thumbnail. And then I start wrapping it, and as I do, I put the rubber band over the top of the piece that I put on with my thumbnail, and there it holds it, see? And then I continue wrapping it, and I'm pulling the scion and the rootstock together like you would pull a cut finger together. Then when I get down to the bottom of the scion, I just usually take the rubber band and I pull one loop out and tie a single knot in it. And I'm going to put that tag right here.
Okay.
Or like Pippin or Newtown or NP.
I want Pippin in there somewhere.
So you did, is that, that's what you, okay, was that your first one? Yes. Let's do these whippy crabs next.
Okay, we put beeswax over top the rubber band to seal it so that the scion don't dry out. Yeah, and all it is a seal, really. I just heat beeswax and paint it on there.
Okay, so these are going to the How long?
When the scion starts growing, and what it'll do is it'll expand that rubber band and crack that wax, and the rubber band will deteriorate and split, and the scion will keep growing. About 3 weeks ago, Austin brought these seedlings up and we potted them, and now they're leafing out and it is time to graft them. And I grafted, let me see, about 40-50 of them this morning. And now he's over here and he's, watch that rake won't hit you, and he's going to graft the rest of them. Here's a grafting knife I bought for about 20 bucks. It actually worked pretty good, but like I say, you got to sharpen the stupid thing all the time. And Corbin, he made me this one right here out of a hacksaw blade. It really worked good. It stayed sharp, you know, I mean a lot longer than an ordinary blade, but it just got to where you had to sharpen it. And like I say, it's a lot easier to use a utility knife. Really tell where the cut is, see?
Yeah.
That's what I do on these. It's called a splice graft, yep. And then I kind of look at this little guy right here and I say, okay, this is about the right space right here. And if I make one side longer than the other, I can always see that this cut here is a lot longer than this one. Mm-hmm. So I can actually take this and still long. See, what you're trying to do is match up that cambium. See that green layer? You're trying to match them up on that. This is actually dead wood. I don't mean nothing in there. So. There.
That's beautiful.
Then I just take the rubber band and I go. Of course, I got fingernails. You probably have too. But I just go like this right here. And that's holding that on there. And I wrap the rubber band to make sure I cover up the top part of it, and then I start going down. And I just tuck it in like that.
He makes it look easy.
I tell you, that's pretty close, girl.
One shot. That was nice.
You know, it ain't bad. You know how many times I've done this?
How many would you estimate?
Years and years ago. I'm going to say back in '82 when I was helping Corwin. That was before I was doing the stuff myself. And he taught me how to do it. And so I talked to a friend of mine over in Eaton Rapids, and he said, Larry, if you're going to graft, he said, I'll give you some of these rubber bands. And he gave me a little grafting compound. And I really liked it because Corwin, he had a little heater like I got right there, only it was just he had a candle in a soup can. And he had a little stand built where he set his beeswax on top of that candle to keep it warm, and he would graft a couple and then move and paint them and then, you know, keep moving. But he used masking tape, which is not forgiving. This rubber band here is pulling that cambium layer together. Where masking tape, now you tell me how you put that bugger on there and make a good wrap. Well, then he started using black electrical tape. And it worked a lot better, but when the graft started growing, you had to go out there a month from now, maybe when it started growing, and take a single-edged razor blade, and you had to cut that black tape so that it would expand and break. Otherwise, it would girdle that, and the thing would die up here. And so, when Roger showed me the rubber bands, Corbin, he would try to put them on, and they would flip. And oh, like them sons of bitches! You can have your goddamn rubber bands. Well, he grafted 20 of them. And I had 100 of them done. And he goes, how many did you do? I said, Ma, she was helping me. She said, well, he's got 100 of them. He said, he threw his knife down. He said, Jesus Christ, what am I out in the garden for? If you can do 100 of them, hell, he said, I might as well sit in the house and watch you. So from then on, I did all the grafting. Well, I built a greenhouse, and I started potting because we could graft 100, but maybe we only had 35, 40 of them take, because it seemed like they would start growing like this about the 15th of May, and then about 3-4 days later it would start raining and turn cold, and the sap wouldn't come up into the scion wood, and it wouldn't heal in. It would go back down, and the scion, I think, dried out because they just wouldn't take. We only had about, oh gosh, I'm going to say maybe 20 out of 100 take. And I said, you know, got to keep these son of a guns warm night and day. So I started potting them and bringing them in the greenhouse. And Letha helped me, that's Corwin's wife. And we grafted 100 of them, and 99 of them grew. And she said, what the hell are we doing it outside for, Larry? She said, my God, you have such much better success. In fact, the root system in them pots are so much better than trying to dig them out of the ground, because they want to form a long tap root. And when you try to dig them, you're going to cut half that tap root off. So anyway, you want to give it a shot, babe?
Yeah. Yes.
Listen to that confidence.
Yes. Yes, I do.
You take this little guy right here, and you got a bud right here and a bud right here, and what you want to do is kind of make the taper in between this bud like this. So you're cutting that bud off, and you got plenty of room so you aren't having a bud stick on there.
Okay. So I want to go between buds there.
Yep.
It's a nice one, probably.
Actually, see if you start right here and
Yeah.
your taper, you're cutting this bud off,
Okay.
and you're coming down here like that.
Okay. So I'm going to hold it here. Where does my thumb go so I don't chop it off?
Okay, let's see. Let me
Or
try
just-
one more so you can see where your thumb goes.
Yeah. I was really going to say, I hadn't watched that important part.
Because I just have them usually up here like this right here, and then I just start coming. I guess I drag my thumb right ahead of it. I don't even put it anywhere near the knife. Like that right there.
Okay. Uh-oh, I'm not angling enough.
It's coming.
Oh, I've got the longest one ever. Ah.
Now what you want to do is just go back and just repair it a little bit. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, you can take it in.
Doesn't seem good.
That should match up about right in there.
Okay.
Or you can just cut that. Just stick that in your mouth.
All right.
And you cut it that way, yep.
And oh, I did a little one. Let me compare my
Yeah, but
angles.
see, it's easy to do if it's too little, it's easy to just start right here and just kind of go like, let me see, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Beautiful fit. Look, I did it all by myself. All right, now rubber band.
Now rubber band. Okay, now you can wrap it. See, I wrap mine the other way around. You don't make
You
me
start.
do it.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
I put the rubber band like this, and then I hold it with my thumb, and then I go one turn over the top of that band, and I've got it held in place.
Okay. Over the top of the band.
Of course, you got to keep holding that rubber band with one hand, because otherwise you go flip.
I don't want to put Austin's eye out here. Does that look enough?
You see in a minute. I don't know why not. Then all you got to do is just hold it out here like that, and tuck that in like that.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna make me do that. Okay.
Just tuck it underneath that rubber band and pull on it. She'll hold it.
One. 99 to go.
You know, I probably grafted 1,000 trees, I suppose. Because I used to sell a couple hundred of them a year when I first got into it.
This is that line that we pointed out before between the new growth and the old growth. We want to cut above that line for our graft. So let's give it a shot. That was terrible. Clean it up. I don't know how much I like this grafting knife. Oh.
You'll love it. Cut the other part first. Or next, before you take it.
Getting there.
Says the bossy one. Alright, so now
So
you're
about
matching
there.
up.
And we're gonna just make that one.
Right in here, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, that single edge razor blade don't seem like it cuts as good as them utility knives.
I don't think it does. Must not be as sharp.
You know, you'd think that single edge razor blade would be very, very sharp, wouldn't you?
You'd think.
You're gonna put it on your face, yeah.
These aren't fruit. Do you shave with
Oh,
these
single
ones?
edge? No.
I don't know.
Okay. Don't ask me, I'm a girl.
Shave your legs with that one? Well, I'll tell you what, that looks pretty good right there.
I'm gonna say, hopefully I can get that connection there, though. It seems like there's sort of a gap in there, but
Well, yeah,
you
the
think that rubber band will
pull it
take care of it? All
Yes,
right.
it will.
So that's the tricky part, I think, is getting the rubber band started and getting one over the top.
It's only tricky if you make it tricky.
Well, I suppose that's true. And then wind it around, keep the compression going. And that's probably enough that I can pull that Loop out. Oh, come on. Get the satisfying snap. Getting there.
This is called Doc Farwell's Grafting Heel and Seal. And you put it on the rubber band so that it seals all the moisture out of it and keeps the moisture in that scion. And when this dries, this is elastic. It has elasticity. So in other words, it can stretch with the growth.
It smells like latex paint.
It does kind of in a way, don't it?
Yeah.
It even kind of looks like the liquid latex that we used to get at the costume shop. You did a bunch of crates this morning, right?
Oh, okay, I did probably, let's see, we had 2 crates left when we got here, right?
All right.
Okay, so I probably did 7 times 9.
63.
This is 8.
Okay. So just around 70 then, and we've got 116 total grafts, plus, you know, some miscellaneous seedlings
Yeah.
here.
So we
Good
did
stuff.
a fair piece of work.
One of these was starting to take from the first time that we were grafting,
Is
right?
this- is this
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here?
let's show him off.
You can see a green coming there, and that, I don't know, can you see it there in the... I don't know if the others are going to make it or not, but
Well, that's...
I'm not going to... No, this one here looks like it extended a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But you said they're
I'm
kind
not-
of
I'm
slow.
Not, yeah, I'm not going to give up on them yet.
So when do you give up on a graft?
Oh, probably a month from now. No, a month from now, if it hasn't taken it, it's not going to take. You know, if it hasn't got any growth on it. You know, the bad part about it is that can grow and get 6 or 8 leaves on it, and then the leaves die because it didn't really callus in quite right.
Ah.
So it can die.